It's Andy. If you're wondering what is on my face today, again, I always go live around 2 p.m. Central, Monday through Friday over on TikTok. All of my socials will be listed in the description down below. What I'm wearing will also just be listed down there if you're just curious. So, if you have seen the Declutter Tag going around here, credit where it is due. The creator's name is Ava Marie. That's who started this tag. I will leave her channel link down below. And the first person that I saw do this from my personal feed was Lauren May Beauty. So I'll also leave her channel link down below. So if you want to know my personal answer to these questions, and am I actually going to declutter those products? Let's go ahead and get into it. So, there are 10 questions, and I have most of the products. A couple I decluttered in my last declutter that I did not film, which was a few months ago, but I will be posting photos probably here. It's just 2 products. But the first product, the question is a makeup item that is impractical. And for me personally, it is these eyeliner stamps, like the wing stamps. These are just super impractical for me. Like, that's what they look like. You know, they're to help you create a wing. These are the ones from iMethod Beauty. They also have a felt tip liner on one side. And it is a super chunky and thick felt tip liner. I have been trying to get these to work for me. They came in a pack of 2 because you get a right wing and a left wing. They're very, very black. They dry down. They do not budge once they dry down, and they do dry down very quickly. So I do like that. But I like brush tip applicators when it comes to liners. And I'm just not good at getting the wings to match up with the wing stamps. I would prefer to just do the wing myself. So, like, the answer to the question for something impractical is the wing stamp. But I also don't like felt tip liner pens personally. I want to try these one more time before I, personally declutter them. I am going to do a big declutter at the end of the year. I've been saving products. So you'll maybe see these at the end of the year. You might not. So these are kind of on the chopping block category. So we will see. But if you guys have any tips or tricks on how you get felt tip liners to work for you, let me know. Because your girl, Gay and Faye, is struggling. The next question. A mascara that's definitely expired in your collection. I just opened a new mascara today, so I thought it would be fitting to do this declutter tag because I'm throwing this in my declutter bin. This is from Ioni. This is a brand that you get at Dollar Tree. It's their volumizing black mascara. This is what the wand looks like. I liked this mascara. I've had it open for a little over 3 months. I mean, it's not terribly expired compared to, some people's, collections. Sometimes things get out of hand. I mean, I've definitely had mascaras for quite some time. But I just noticed that when I go to put this on my lashes, it's not too clumpy on the wand, but if you can see, it's getting really clumpy in the tube here. And I know that I've had it open for either three or 4 months now. So it's, it's past its prime. It's time for this to be decluttered. So I'm using one of my old Ipsy Plus bags as my little declutter bag. So that is being decluttered. Next question. A red lipstick that you never wear. So this is from Maybelline. This is the color, the Super Stay Ink Crayon. And this is in the shade Laugh Louder. So I really like the crayons. I love the Super Stay line, all the different variations. It's a pretty red, but it's like an orangey red, but it's too red to be an orange. But it's not orangey enough to be an orange. So I never wear it, but I don't declutter it because this formula is so comfy and easy to wear that if I'm gonna go for a red lipstick, the once in a blue moon that I do, this is the kind of formula that I want to wear. I want to look and try and find a better red shade for me, and I've thought about decluttering it, but I feel like I should, all the products that I'm putting in this list, like, I need to just wear them all together and see what I think. So I feel like I should just make a little pile up here on my desk of products on, like, the chopping block. So that's going to be a maybe, because I don't think I've ever even worn this. Because I bought it, and then I swatched it, and I was like, that's not the color red I was hoping. Like, when I saw it in store, like, the lighting was so fluorescent in Walmart, it looked more red than orange. The next question, and this one pains me. This one pains me so very, very much. This question is a high-end item that is not worth the money. Please don't come for me, but in my opinion. So, this is the Huda Beauty, the new Nude palette. I remember. So I still have the insert. This is what she looks like if you don't know. I have used her quite a bit because I've tried and tried and tried some more to make this palette work. So here's my thing. I remember the first time I ever went into a Sephora store in person, I had saved up money to buy an eyeshadow palette that was a high-end palette. I swatched a bunch of palettes. This had just come out, and I was looking, like, I didn't go in there specifically being like, I want a Huda palette. But out of everything that the Sephora store I went into had, this is what caught my eye. I love the color story. I love the shimmers in this palette. I like pressed glitters personally, so I really like the two pressed glitters in this palette. I hate the concealer in this, personally, but it is what it is. My issue with this palette, and I don't have any other Huda shades because I've been so hesitant to buy any other products because I don't want to spend money on it and it happen again. Every single time I wear this palette, every single time, it doesn't matter what primer I use, mascara, lashes, no lashes, it does not matter. Every other variable I've tried does not change the outcome. If I put this palette on my eyes become so irritated and watery, and it's like, it's not that they burn, I don't get any redness or anything, but it's like, I can't keep this makeup on. And it doesn't matter what shades, like, I have done all different kinds of looks. I have used every single shade in this palette at least once, trying to make this palette work. So if any of you ever had that problem with Huda Beauty's formula, should I try something else from the line? Like, I really want to like this palette. I love the color story. Like, I want to make this work so bad. But for me, this was just a waste of money. And every time I see this palette in my collection, I want to declutter it, and then I remember how much I spent on it, and I get angry. The next question is a drugstore dud. Again, don't come for me, but the e.l.f. Wow Brow. I used it until I, basically, I was scraping the sides here, and I just was... So I've been scraping the sides because I was determined to try to use this and make it work for me. I have mine in the shade Brunette, I believe. Yeah, I have mine in the shade Brunette. So it's a tinted brow fiber gel. It's all goopy in here. I used it for months in my brows. I just never liked it. I never liked how my brows looked. It didn't really fluff them. It wouldn't hold. This just didn't work for me. So it's not only is it a declutter because it didn't work for me, but it's also a declutter because it's basically empty. It's old. It's goopy. So it's more of a, I'm not going to repurchase it, and it's a declutter because it's done. The next question, an eyeshadow palette you forgot you had. This is fairly new to my collection, so it's kind of on me that I forgot I had it. But I got this in, I believe, a BoxyCharm, and this is from Phase Zero, and it's just a little basic neutrals palette. I've swatched one shade, and it's this first nude shade. Otherwise, I haven't even touched this palette. I haven't worn it on my eyes yet, which is why I forgot I've had it. It was buried under a stack of paperwork that I just found. So I need to get this out. You know, I'm trying to get more into neutrals with pops of shimmers and things. Trying to use more of my very large singles collection that I've amassed this year. So I want to try that formula out. I want to see if I enjoy it. The next two questions are products that I have previously decluttered, and I don't have a physical product to show you, but I will try to throw up a photo for you. So the next product is a foundation that is not your shade, and I just decluttered it because it wasn't my shade. I had the Il Makiage Woke Up Like This foundation, and I believe I had it in the shade 40. And it was old. It was very old in my collection, and I was trying it because I was trying to see if it was even my shade any longer, because it was old, and I didn't know if it was even going to work for me anymore. It was straight orange. I don't know when that foundation ever might have worked for me, but it was orange on me, and it was cakey, and it was gross. And it was like a $75 foundation. So I don't remember that ever working for me, but I don't remember it being orange, but it was orange. So we decluttered her. And then a concealer that I couldn't make work. It was the L'Oreal, the Full Coverage foundation. I'll definitely try to put up a picture of that one. It was just cakey. No matter how little, it has a very thick doe foot applicator on it. And no matter how little of a dot I did under my under eyes, I just could not get that concealer to work for me. It was too full coverage, and like, that is odd for me. I'm generally not a person that's like, oh, that's too full coverage, I can't get that to work. That's not me. Like, I do not say those words. I love full coverage, but it was too much. It was full coverage to the point of cakiness. And the very, very last question, like, look how good these eye method, like, I'm scrubbing, and they're nice. I just can't get them to work for me. The very last question is, what makeup category would you start from scratch if you could? And for me, knowing what I know now, this was the only question that I really am thinking about, that I'm like, what would it be? Lips, I think. Because I have so many lipstick, like, my preferences now, like, I know what I want, and I know what brands I love, and what colors I enjoy. Like, this is a Sephora lipstick. This is their Lip Stories. Let me grab it for you. It's in the shade Margs. This is amazing. I need every color under the sun. But I think I would restart lipsticks. Because it's one of my bigger categories for just, it's bigger because I've had it for so long. Like, it's an unnecessarily large category. Whereas, like, I think I only have 3 or 4 backup primers. I have 2 backup mascaras. Like, restarting that, like, I could do that right now and it wouldn't really make a difference in my collection. But if I restarted my lip collection, like, that would be a lot. Like, that would take time for me to redo. But I think that would be very interesting for me, personally. But yeah, that's my little declutter tag. You'll have to stay tuned for my end of the year actual declutter, where we go through all of my empties. Well, my empties will be a separate video, but I'm going to have a whole collection declutter, so that starting January we can do a fresh inventory and see where my collection goes next year. So, but as always, I'll see you guys in the next one.